Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I am very excited for today's video. I am going to be filming a June 15th ARC vlog. My friend Maddie at Princess of Paperback does ARC vlogs every so often where she'll read books coming out on a certain day and then she'll release that video on that day the books are coming out, so you'll know thoughts and opinions on those books and if you should buy them or not. So I have quite a few ARCs for June 15th. I have 4 books that I'm going to try to read in this video before June 15th comes up. I'm really excited for all of them. I got these through Penguin and NetGalley, so let me explain these books to you that I'm going to read so we can see if I enjoy them or not. Alright, so the first book I have for you is You're So Dead by Ash Parsons. So the description says, a hilarious Agatha Christie-inspired YA thriller comedy about 3 best friends who sneak into an influence-only festival event only to discover a killer is in their midst and they have to uncover the truth and solve the mystery before it's too late. So like it says, this is a mystery. They go to this big retreat. I think when they get to the retreat, they see that it's all like run down, no one's there, so they're not sure what's going on, and then one by one they start dying, so they have to figure out who the killer is before they all die off. Sounds interesting. I hope it's good. So the cover, not too sure about the cover. It makes it look like it's going to be really bad. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? But yeah, I could always use a good thriller. I love the whole there's a killer in our midst, let's figure it out type of trope, so we'll see if I enjoy this one. Okay, the next book I have is The Summer of Lost Letters by Hannah Reynolds. So this says, perfect for fans of Morgan Matson and Ruta Sepetys, this sweet summery romance set in Nantucket follows 17-year-old Abby Schoenberg as she uncovers a secret about her grandmother's life during World War II. So I think it's like Abby's not looking forward to the summer before her senior year. She's broken up with her first boyfriend, all of her friends are off in different exciting directions, and Abby needs a plan and adventure of her own. And then she finds the letters and they're set in World War II and they're her grandma's letters. I love World War II set books, especially the concept of someone finding someone else's letters and living through them that way is just so fascinating to me. I think this will be a nice pace change up. I also just realized like all 4 of these books are pretty different and various genres, which is really fun and exciting. The next book is probably the one I am most excited for, and that is The Cruelest Mercy by Natalie May. This is book 2 in the Kinder Poison series. I read The Kinder Poison in May, and it's probably my favorite book of the year. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So this follows a girl named Zaru, and in this world, each person has some kind of magic, and their magic or their rank is based on their magical abilities. So Zaru is a whisperer, meaning that she can talk to animals, which sounds so cool, but unfortunately, that puts her on one of the bottom ranks. She's kind of in a lower caste because she is a whisperer. Her best friend Hin is really good at being really sneaky and blackmailing and all this stuff, and so when a new heir is about to come up, they decide to sneak into the palace so they can go and just have a fun night in the palace and live extravagantly for one night. So basically, to decide a new heir, the Mestra, kind of like the king, his children go on this race against the desert, and at the end of the race they have to kill a human sacrifice in order to gain the Mestra powers so they can be the next king. So when Zaru and Hin kind of sneak on, there's a big mix-up, and Zaru ends up becoming the human sacrifice. It's so good. I really love it. So I'm so excited to read the second book. This just follows the aftermath of the first one, so I can't tell you the second one because it'll spoil the first one. But yes, I love this book, and I feel like not a lot of people read it, so definitely read the first one, and then let me know what you think about the second one. And the last book I want to try to read in this vlog is Once Upon a Royal Summer by Terry Wilson. So this is by Hallmark Publishing, so it is a wonderful little Hallmark love story. So it says, a theme park princess meets a single dad who turns out to be a real prince. So I feel like that's all I need to know. I love Hallmark movies and stories, and I just wish that I could like star in a Hallmark movie. That's my dream. So I think this one will be like really fun and easy to get through. So all of these books sound so good and just very different. So we have like a thriller murder mystery, we have a fantasy, we have a World War II historical fiction, and then we have a Hallmark romance. Like, perfect. Like, I'm so glad they're not all like the same thing because then it could get a little boring, but this will keep me on my toes and I'm very excited. So yes, those are the 4 books that I plan on reading. So let's see what I think about these. Okay, so it is a very beautiful day outside. It is super cloudy and rainy all day. Love it. So it is time for me to start my first book for this video. I'm going to be starting with The Cruelest Mercy by Natalie May because that is the one I am most excited for. And I just read the first one, so I am like really eager to get this one done and figure out what happens because the way the first one ended, crazy. So I'm really excited because it's just gonna be great. And I hope that I like it as much or more than the first one. We will see. I will update you and see how it goes. Okay. All right, so update, I am 50% through The Cruelest Mercy and I'm happy to say I am really loving it. This book is a lot of fun because we go on yet another adventure for a different reason. And we also get to see a little bit more of Zaru's best friend Hen, and I actually wish we got to see her a lot more because she is hilarious. She's like this mastermind blackmailer. Like, she is queen of blackmail, and anytime you want something done, she's like, I got it, don't worry. Or like one time they need a distraction and she's like, I know everyone here's secrets, I'll just start blurting secrets out if they get in your way. And it is so funny. I wish we got to see her more. The adventure in this one is interesting because we're getting to explore a lot of the magic system and some new powers that are being introduced as well. It's really fascinating, the magic. There's so many different kinds in this book. There's like mind reading, there's someone who can like an ice power, there's like a storm person that can create storms, there's whispers that can talk to animals, which is so much fun, and they're basically kind of ranked based on their powers. So like whispers are at the lowest, and like someone like a mentalist is at the highest, which is interesting because whispers are still considered mental magic but with animals, so it's lower. Anyway, Casta's really interesting in this book because he's one of those characters that it's like, I hate him, but I feel like he's so misunderstood. Like, I feel like there's something that we need to uncover about him because like one minute you're like he's evil and the next minute you're like, people, just take it easy on him, he's been through some stuff. But yeah, I really like all the characters in this and I'm anxious to see how it ends up because the plot in this book, I don't want to say it because it would like spoil the first one, but the plot in this book creates a lot of conflict, which is really interesting. But I love it. I love the characters, I love the world, and I hope more people read it, especially the first book, The Kinder Poison. If I had to choose, I mean, I'm halfway through, but if I had to choose, I think I enjoyed the first one a little bit more, but we'll see how this one ends up. I am reading it slower because my brother came and visited from the Navy, and so we've been doing crazy things, and then we traveled out of town for a little bit, so I've been reading it slower, but I've still been reading every day. Fun fact, I have read every day so far this year. But yes, I'm gonna go film a video and then I'm going to read some more today. It's the last day of May, and so I don't think I'm gonna finish The Cruelest Mercy because I want to finish it in June so I don't have to include it in my May wrap up. So I'm gonna read some more and then probably finish it tomorrow because I feel like I could just fly through it. Okay, so update, I just finished The Cruelest Mercy by Natalie May, and I am going to start off by saying I enjoyed the first one more than the second one, but I still gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. My problems with this one was I felt like there were times where it kind of lulled, where in the first one I never really felt bored while reading, like waiting for the next thing, but in this one sometimes I was like, okay, like where is this going? Also with the main character Zaru, I talked about how in the first book I really loved her character and thought she was so strong and like independent. This book, her character completely changed and not for the better. Not a huge fan of where her character ended up in this book. So we'll see the third one what happens with her character because I definitely preferred her in the first one than I do in the second one. She has changed a lot and I'm not gonna explain why, but I don't like the way her character is going or where she went in the second book. The end of this book though, oh my goodness, like I was talking about how like sometimes there would be a lull in the action, like I was kind of bored at points, but the ending of this like almost made up for everything because it was just like so intense, so impactful, and I knew something was gonna happen, but I did not expect like things to go down the way they went down. But overall I'm very pleased with it. It could have been a little bit better, but it also still pleased, still super pleased because it also could have been worse. I was really worried about second book syndrome and it had a little bit of that but not too much. So yes, 4 out of 5 stars, starting this video out great. I think the next book I'm going to pick up today is The Summer of Lost Letters. I think that's what it's called. Because I'm feeling a little World War II historical fiction moment here. I love historical fiction and I haven't read any in a very long time. So yes, I am looking forward to picking that one up. It's only like 384 pages, so it should be a quick read. So yes, alright, I'll update you when I have started reading. Okay, so a little bit of an update. I am 50% of the way through The Summer of Lost Letters by Hannah Reynolds, and I'm really enjoying it. So now I can give you a better synopsis. So this follows a girl named Abigail, whose grandmother recently passed away within the last year, and her grandmother's life is kind of a mystery. All they know is that when she was 4 years old, she came over from Germany, and her parents died in the Holocaust. So they don't really know. Her grandma didn't really talk about a lot of things, but one day she gets this package in the mail, and the nursing home that her grandmother was staying at found a box of old letters. And so Abby starts reading these letters, and she finds that they are from a man, and they are love letters. And so she is trying to figure out what her grandma did when she came to America, what her life was like, and just find out more about family history. Through these letters, she actually finds out that her grandma spent some time on the island Nantucket, and she finds out who this mysterious love letter man was. And so she decides to spend a summer in Nantucket and work at a bookstore and kind of investigate her family history. Like I said, I'm really enjoying it, but I was hoping we would see more like a flashback World War II era type scenes. Right now it's kind of more present, like in the present. We're following more Abby, and I was hoping we would also follow Abby as well as her grandmother through the letters. But right now we're still kind of in a mystery. We don't really know what's happened. We have discovered more information, but we don't know why her grandmother never talked about it, because obviously it was a really big part of her life, but we don't know anything yet, and I'm 50% of the way through. It is more of a love story, kind of. It feels more contemporary than historical, you know, and I was hoping that it was more of a historical, but I'm still really enjoying it nonetheless. I really like the characters and I'm really interested to see where it goes, but I do hope we get more historical aspects in the second half of the book, but we will see, and I will keep you updated. But I am enjoying it. I really am. I just wish there was more historical parts in it, but maybe my expectations were different than what the book is about. But yes, so good. Really enjoying it. We'll see how it ends. Okay, so I just finished The Summer of Lost Letters and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I will say the main character, Abigail, I'm not a huge fan of her. I feel like she was very hypocritical at times, and at the end, like, she got it all together, but throughout the whole story, I just like wanted to shake her and be like, just come to your senses. But yeah, she was kind of annoying. But Noah, really loved him, really great. I was still expecting more of a historical book when I read this, and it was definitely way more of a contemporary, like Morgan Matson, Casey West type of story, you know? So maybe I'll pick up a historical fiction sometime soon, because I didn't quite get that fix. But it is interesting because the entire summer, like I said, Abigail is trying to figure out like her family's history, so she's doing all this family research, and she's kind of becoming like a historian, like a sleuth, trying to uncover records and look at censuses and just different things like that. And it was so funny because it's so ironic and just hit so close to home, because this past week I actually did the same thing. Long story short, growing up, my dad, he didn't know anything about his family, so we didn't know anything at all about his family, and basically I found our entire family and traced our line back to 1500 Scotland, and we found a lot of living family members that we didn't know about, and so we actually went and met a few for the first time in our lives. So it was just kind of funny that I was reading a book like that and the same thing was happening to me, and as she was like trying to look up all these records and stuff, I went through the exact same things, trying to look at censuses and just birth records, death certificates, marriage licenses, divorces, all those things, and I was doing the exact same thing. So it was kind of interesting that I was reading it and I just felt her. I was like, I understand this completely because I'm doing the same thing right now. And she was uncovering family mysteries, and I uncovered so many family mysteries and unanswered questions for decades. But yeah, so it's kind of crazy because my dad, for the first time in his life, we like know his family, and we get to meet so many other family members, just like Abigail, finding out like her grandmother and her story and everything. But anyway, yes, I really loved it, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I would just wish it was more historical. Every time we did read like a historical part or like find out more about her grandmother, I started tearing up because historical things just make me cry so hard. But yes, I really liked it. I think I'm going to start reading You're So Dead. So tomorrow is Tuesday, which means I have a week left for this video, which means I have 2 books left, which is super doable, but I have also been kind of slumpy since the last week of May. That's why it's been taking me so long to read these books, even though they're not long. But yes, so hopefully I can get that done. Like I said, I'm going to read You're So Dead because after a cute little love story, I need some murder. But yes, I'll probably start that tomorrow. I'm hoping that I will read that within 2 days and then the next book read it within 2 days. Like I'm going to try to get back in the reading mood and hop on this. But yes, that is it. So I will update you when I've read something else. Okay, hello. I just got done working out, but I need to update you because I said that yesterday I was going to start You're So Dead, and I did start it, and like I said, I have been kind of slumpy lately, so I was kind of worried because I honestly thought that this book was going to be a book that, like, I was going to DNF. Just looking at it and hearing the premise, I thought I was going to DNF this, and I usually update at the 50% mark, but I finished it. I finished the book in a day. I didn't think that was going to happen because of my slump and just because how I perceived this book going into it. So basically, like I said at the beginning, it follows this girl. And get this, her name is Plum Winter. Okay, and she is the sister of famous influencer Peach Winter. And so Plum steals Peach's invitation to this festival so she and her friends can go and have like a wonderful spring break their senior year and do something that they never would have thought they would do. So basically this festival, it's called Pyre Festival, and it's kind of a play on Fire Festival that happened a few years ago and like was not good, and that's kind of how it is in this book. They arrive at this island and they realize something is kind of sketchy going on. There's not a lot of people, there's not really any festival, the villa they're supposed to stay at is pretty run down, and so they're kind of getting sketch vibes and they don't know what's going on until people start dying and they realize that there is a killer in their midst and they don't know who it is or why they are being targeted. So basically in this book, all the characters are very stereotypical influencers. Like you have those big personalities, you have like the kind of stupid guy that like changes his personality on camera, you have the one that like pulls pranks on people, you have you know, that gun girl in our society, there's a character like that, and then you have like the typical influencer, my life is better than yours, and then you have like the makeup influencer, and people like that. So it's very stereotypical, and so you just kind of have to take it with a grain of salt and not take the characters too seriously, because in this book they are meant to like kind of blow things out of proportion from how influencers really are. And I know there are some like this, so it kind of takes like the worst aspects of influencers and kind of blows them up in this book. If you've seen the movie Scream, this book is a lot like that movie, how it's like murdery, but also it's kind of like a satire, you know, which is funny because I don't like satires at all. But this is a lot like the movie Scream. People are dying, but also there's like comedy aspects. But yes, I thought this book was so enjoyable. So I actually gave it 3 out of 5 stars because honestly it's not the best book I've ever read. The characters aren't great, and I honestly did not like the reveal and how things ended at all, but I had so much fun reading it and I like flew through it. Obviously I read it all in one day, so like it was pretty good. It was really enjoyable, and I definitely had a lot of fun reading it. So yes, 3 out of 5 stars. I'm excited. I did not think that I would read it all in one day. So now I need to read, I think it's called Once Upon a Royal Summer, and it's really short, and it's like a Hallmark romance, so it should be pretty fast. I'm going to start that today. So yeah, there's that. One more book to go. Okay, so update. First of all, sorry the lighting is weird. It is nighttime. But I just had to update because I did it again. I finished another book in a day. So I just finished Once Upon a Royal Summer and I really enjoyed it. So this is by Hallmark Publishing. I said that at the beginning. Hallmark Publishing, so it's like a Hallmark romance movie. So if you're not into that, you won't be into this book. But this book is literally a Hallmark movie. It was so much fun. It was so cute, and I really want it to be a movie because I think it would be so good. So like I said at the beginning, it follows this girl, Lacey. She's 27 and she works as a princess at a theme park. Think like Disneyland, Disney World, like a big theme park like that. And one day she meets a real life prince at the theme park. and that's all you need to know. But yes, it was so cute. I'm a sucker for Hallmark. Like, I love Hallmark Christmas movies, Hallmark summer movies, Hallmark Thanksgiving movies, all those Hallmark movies. So the fact that this was a Hallmark book, I think this was my first book I've ever read by Hallmark Publishing, so I need to read more because I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It just didn't have that 5-star feel for me. There was nothing like wrong with it, but yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. So I guess I can wrap up this vlog now, which I did not expect to read the last 2 books in 2 days. Amazing. I'm really proud of myself. So I guess I'm out of my reading slump now, which is also really good. Did not expect that from this video. So yes, I read 4 really good books. I had 3 4 stars and 1 3-star. I enjoyed all of them. Obviously, they got me on my reading slump, and I'm really pleased. I was really worried there was going to be at least one that I didn't like, but I enjoyed all of them. It was a great time. But yes, I recommend all of these to you and check them out, especially if any of them sound interesting. But I guess that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, all my social media links will be down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!